Howdy guys, Jimmy Song here. I wanted to talk in this video about Ethereum and specifically how it's become the center of people that believe in quote unquote blockchain as a technology. And I called this video Ethereum, blockchain's Hopium, because a lot of the people in that community seem to think that blockchain will change everything, doing it in every way. Many of you have heard about my bet with Joe Lubin back at Consensus. By the way, he's still avoiding me. He's still not wanting to bet with me. And he keeps telling people in interviews that we have some impasse. Really, it's just him not responding to my emails for months at a time. So anyway, he's one of those people that says blockchain will change everything. He's been quoted as saying it will disrupt Facebook, that, you know, like decentralized is way better than centralized, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I mean, to the extent that decentralized is better than centralized in certain aspects, yes, absolutely, that is correct. What he is missing, though, and what people like Vitalik are missing in their tweet storms, is that it's way too expensive, and it is most of the time not really decentralized, right? Like it's kind of like people selling you that this car can move on its own, except you know, like instead of a horse pulling, it's going to be a cow pushing or something like that. It's about that level of quote unquote innovation. It's not decentralized at all. If it were like actually an automobile, it would be able to run on its own without any help. And this is why I say Ethereum is sort of blockchain's Hopium. There's a lot of people sort of deceiving themselves into thinking that like something like Ethereum, something where, you know, there's a separate blockchain and that you can record things on it, that's actually going to be useful. This idea has been around for 5 years now, and there have been multiple chains that have tried to exploit this or try to do things on it. I still remember Counterparty back in I think 2013 launched, and I think after Ethereum was announced, they basically said, okay, well, we can do all of what Solidity does on Counterparty, and Counterparty was built on top of Bitcoin, and you know, Vitalik, I think very soon afterwards, like said, okay, well, oh yeah, I can you know, make all of the Counterparty language available on Ethereum. So I mean, like, it's been around, right? Like the ability to store data in a blockchain that's like supposedly decentralized and so on. It's been around. Just nobody's actually found the use case. Nobody's found the way to get users to actually use it. The only thing that it's actually useful for seems to be raising ICOs, which is you know, like basically the ability to print your own money. And that, I got to give it to them. They've been very successful at it, and good for them. But you know, it's really kind of a scammy way to make money, and I don't really necessarily agree with it. But that said, a lot of people like Vitalik and Joe think that there are all these use cases without any proof. You know, like the actual, and you know, Joe famously hasn't made a bet with me, right? Like he thinks that there's going to be lots and lots of apps in 5 years. Yet when I propose like pretty reasonable metrics, like 10,000 daily active users for 5 different apps on Ethereum, he doesn't want to like he's been avoiding me for a while. He was going to originally make the bet on Laura Shin show. Hasn't done anything. What does that tell you? I don't think he actually believes it. This is a line that they say, and including people like Vitalik. I think they very well know that their ideas don't work, and that you know, there's a body of evidence coming forward that says that, you know, like you try to build these things on something like Ethereum, on a blockchain or whatever, and it ends up becoming way too expensive to make practical. So they don't. You know, people don't use it. You get like 50 daily active users. Really, the only thing that they seem to be interested in is trading coins back and forth and pumping their bags and gambling, really. And you know, I mean, if that's what they want to do, I guess that's what they can do. But you know, these quote unquote use cases about the blockchain, they don't hold any water. There's no evidence that they work, and there's no evidence that you know, anything centralized wouldn't be like 1,000 times better. So, you know, I want to caution against too much hopium right now, especially during a bear market, because like it's very easy to deceive yourselves. And you know, these guys like Vitalik are tweet storming about like blockchain technology coming to the forefront just around the corner. It always seems to be around the corner, right? But it never actually happens, and none of these applications actually have any users. So my gut feeling is that they will continue to do this until, you know, people get skeptical of them. So, you want to be one of the first skeptics, not one of the last skeptics. You don't want to be the person that's still holding on to hope when it's very clear. You don't want to be that clear that that's not going to happen. You don't want to be that like delusional person that's still holding on to Amway or whatever. And really, that's what this is. It's kind of like an Amway sale, and they're selling you on like aspirational dreams of what possibly could be without any evidence that you can get there. So, that's what they are. That's what's happening, and I think more people are beginning to figure it out. And this is part of why Ethereum continues to come down in price. So. Hope that helps you. If you disagree with me, let me know. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people saying, but Jimmy, there's this particular use case. Okay, tell me how a centralized company that with a centralized database can't do it faster, cheaper, better. Okay, because very, very few people and why you don't have to trust anybody in the scheme that you've come up with, because generally you're going to have to trust somebody, and if you're going to trust somebody, you might as well get the efficiencies out of that trust rather than like not having to trust this particular aspect of that. Like you need to have a compelling economic reason to do that. Anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments. That's my challenge to you if you disagree with me. Anyway, hope that helps you. This song is done.